William Henry Harrison was the 9th President of the United States. He had quite a few government roles before he became president, but he's best known for having the shortest presidency and the longest inaugural speech. So like I said, he's the 9th President of the United States. He was president for exactly a month, from March 4th, 1841 to April 4th, 1841. Some bio information about him. He was born February 9th, 1773 in Berkeley, Virginia. His parents were Benjamin and Elizabeth Harrison. He's nicknamed Old Tippecanoe because he is most famous for the Battle of Tippecanoe. He was married to Anna on November 25th, 1795, and together they had 10 children. He was Episcopalian and attended Hampton-Sydney College. So as you can see, he had quite a few government positions before being nominated to run for president. He first was the Secretary of the Northwest Territory. Then for a couple years, he was the territorial delegate to Congress. His longest role was as the territorial governor of Indiana from 1801 to 1813. In this role, he primarily served to defend the territories from Indian attacks and to also try to gain more land from the Indians in order for settlers to be able to move west. He was a U.S. Congressman from Ohio and also a United States Senator. He was the minister to Columbia from 1828 to 1829. As you can see, there are quite a few years here in which he didn't hold any government positions. And after the War of 1812 and then holding all of these positions, he decided to return back to civilian life before he was nominated to be president by the Whig Party. The presidential race of 1836 and 1840, both times he ran for president, but the first time he lost to Martin Van Buren in 1836, and then he beat Martin Van Buren in 1840. His vice president was John Tyler, and he was nominated by the Whig Party. They had nominated him because he had the military victories, but he had also returned to civilian life. And so they used his image as the typical man to try to get people behind voting for him for president. So his inaugural address is what he is most famous for. It was delivered March 4th. It was the longest ever inaugural speech still to this day at 104 minutes. He wrote it himself, and actually he shortened it down quite a bit based on the advice of some of his advisors. It was a lesson in constitutional history. A lot of the inaugural speeches today are more about what the president is going to do, but this one was more a look back and a lesson to the American people in constitutional history. So he died after being in office for 1 month. He caught a cold from this long inaugural speech that was outside, which turned into pneumonia. He died on April 4th, 1841. His legacy includes the Whig Party dying along with him when John Tyler became president. There was some Whig Party influence during John Tyler's presidency, but William Henry Harrison was really the last president to be affiliated with the Whig Party. He's known by many for having the shortest presidential term and the longest inaugural speech in history. However, his victories during the War of 1812 and his many contributions during the positions that he held before the presidency also contributed to American history.